Good evening, everyone, and welcome to yet another edition of Light Sports Ramble. I am on vacation until Monday, so I decided to just go out and take a little drive so I could bring the ramble to you because I'm excited. Got AFC North tonight. I personally think this could be one of the most competitive divisions in the NFL in the upcoming season. And you may be surprised when I rank the teams at the end of the call. So let's get right into it. Baltimore, defending Super Bowl champions. Can they defend? And that's the question. You put in the pressure on their shoulders. And I'm going to go right into it. For my loyal listeners, you know I had a segment about elite quarterbacks. And I don't think Joe Flacco is an elite quarterback. Now, do I think he deserved the payday? Yes, he deserved the payday. Because he got to the Super Bowl, helped the Ravens win the Super Bowl. But he's going to have to earn his money this year. Because you got rid of Bolden. And what's on that receiving core right now? You got Jacoby Jones. And what else do you have? You still have Ray Rice. And you have a good offensive line. But let's see, Joe, if you can really earn your money this year. And the nice thing is, you have the luxury of having a great defense. And as a quarterback, knowing my defense is not going to let the other team go up and down the field and score points, just has to be a great feeling. Knowing that if I screw up, my defense will get the ball back. And so moving into the defense for Baltimore, people are saying, well, Ray Lewis is gone, Ed Reed is gone. And you know what? Ray Lewis in the Super Bowl, and I mentioned it when I was watching, he looked slow. He looked like he was not able to do what he needed to do. And you know what, Ray Lewis? Props to you for knowing when it's time to call it quits. Because I don't think you played a great Super Bowl. Congrats to you, though. You got the ring. And congrats to knowing it's time to call it quits. And losing Ed Reed, that's a big loss. Because losing Ed Reed, you've lost the veteran presence in the back. The guy that can make everything calm and can keep that team in line. So that is a huge loss for you. But I'm looking at the offseason pickups, and you picked up Doomerville. Oh my God. Oh my God, how did you do that? And Denver, what were you thinking? That's a great pickup, Baltimore. That is a great pickup. Plus you got Canty. You know, not as accoladed as Doomerville, but oh my God, now you got Canty there too. Plus you also got Huff at safety. Not an Ed Reed, but a good playmaker back there. And you also got Spears from Dallas. I think you've upgraded an already very good defense. So good luck, Baltimore. Let's talk about Cincinnati. What a great story here. What a great story. And Marvin Lewis, I'm happy for you. Finally, everything put into place, and maybe now a consistent winner. And so the question is, can you go to the top of the mountain with this team? You didn't do much in free agency, didn't do much in the draft as far as impact players. I like Andy Dalton at quarterback. I think he's a solid quarterback. And, you know, as I look at it, he's got a few playmakers around him, but nothing real eye-opening. And it might be a year or two, and maybe we're talking about Andy Dalton in that elite quarterback category. Maybe. Maybe we are. Because he's working with players around him to try and make them better. Because you got Green. You got Green. He's a great playmaker. You don't have anybody else around him, so what Dalton has to do this year is figure out who is the number 2 guy going to be. Who's the number 2 guy going to be when Green is not available? And I like your draft pick in Eifert. I think the tight end is sometimes over or underestimated. If you can have a tight end that can go down the seam and can open up that defense, it's a great weapon. So I like Eifert. I love that draft pick. And I think that's going to be a great complement in your offense with Dalton. And then you picked up Berard in the draft at running back, and that's where my concern is. You got an unproven running back, got some great talent. I mean, he's supposed to be a good talent. But again, now you're moving from college to the NFL. And how is he going to adjust to that? I think he should do pretty well. But again, it's an unproven commodity back there, and you can never tell with a rookie. But moving on to the defense, I think the defense, this is a defense I think that should be getting some more talk and should be getting some more acclimates, because very good defense. And you got I always struggle with it. Mayu Aluga at linebacker. Didn't play so great last year, but I think he's adjusting to the scheme. And he's going to be the defensive leader. And I think you'll see an improved defense. The James Harrison signing, this is just unbelievable. Because I had the ramble about the Packers going to the Vikings just to punch us Packer fans in the gut. And that's what Harrison did right here. Clearly, that is what he did. And you know what, Pittsburgh, I'm okay for letting James Harrison go. I lived in Pittsburgh for 7 years. It was time to let him go. And we'll talk about that on your ramble about your team. But James Harrison, I hope you have enough left in the tank. Maybe you have enough this year to try to have one last go at it. And you picked a good team. I mean, Cincinnati has a good team. But it might be, at this time, James Harrison, to actually just face the facts. Maybe you aren't as good as you were 2 or 3 years ago. And maybe you are. Prove me wrong then. Go out and play. But in my book, looking at you, I just don't think you have it anymore. So good luck in Cincinnati. I'll tell you what, though, Cincinnati fans, I think you got a great steal in Sean Williams. I love the guy. I love that pick at safety. And I think Sean Williams, if he's given the chance and he can pick up that defense, you could be having the defensive rookie of the year in the backfield in Sean Williams. I love that draft pick. I love that guy. I think he's a great player back there. So, with that said, let's move on to Pittsburgh. And holy cow, are we talking about a totally new look in Pittsburgh in 2013? Let's just look at some of the players that are gone. Mendenhall's gone. Wallace is gone. Harrison is gone. Hampton is gone. Starks is gone. Lewis, Allen, Mundy. Wow. Just wow. But then I look at it and say, you know what? Yeah. Some names that might have been big names, but you had a crappy year last year. You didn't make the playoffs. So maybe this is the right thing to do. Not going to talk about Big Ben and where I had him with the quarterback things. I think Big Ben is a great quarterback. Not an elite, but a great quarterback. The guy can keep things going with his feet, keeps plays alive, and you know what? I really like the duo at wide receiver with Brown and Sanders. And so, Big Ben, here's my challenge to you. I didn't put you in my elite quarterback category. This is the year to prove to me that you're an elite quarterback. Show me that you can make Brown and Sanders better, and then I'll put you in elite. Because I honestly believe losing Mike Wallace is a blessing for my Steeler fans. And coming from Pittsburgh, I lived there 7 years. I think Mike Wallace leaving that team is going to help the team. It's going to let Brown and Sanders shine this year and let Big Ben prove that he's an elite quarterback. Now, you got some questions at running back for sure. And that's going to be the big question. Do you have any formidable running game to take some pressure off Big Ben? Unfortunately, I don't think there's an answer there, and I'm not sure if you do. But we'll see. We'll see as we move forward. You know, and on defense, you lost the Harrisons, you lost the Hampton. But you know what? It might have been time. It might have been time. But I think you got a great player in Thomas. And if Troy Polamalu is healthy back there, there is no undermining that man's talent. When he is healthy and he is playing at 100%, I don't think there's a better safety in the game. And so having him back and healthy is going to help with some leadership. And, oh, by the way, you got this guy called Javaris Jones in the draft. The guy is just a playmaker. So bidding well to Harrison, I don't think is a huge loss for you guys. I see a lot of good things, Pittsburgh. As much as I hate to admit it, I see a lot of good things. And I may have to concede to my Pittsburgh fans this year. And you'll have to wait to see where I rank the teams. Let's move on to Cleveland. And you know what, Cleveland? The doormats of the AFC North for a long time. But I'm impressed. I am impressed with the progress. You're doing the right things to try and get out of the cellar. The problem is you got Baltimore, Cincinnati, and Pittsburgh ahead of you. And that is a problem. Do I think you make improvement this year? I really do. I think you do. However, my problem lies in Whedon. I don't think he's a franchise quarterback. I don't think he's an elite quarterback. And if you're resting your hopes on the arms of Whedon, you're in trouble. And so that's where the problem lies. And you have to have Richardson healthy all year. And if Richardson is healthy all year, you got a good threat there. But again, it goes back to Whedon as the play caller. You know, not impressed with Whedon as a play caller there. But you got Richardson, and hopefully, Trent, you can stay healthy because I love watching you play. I love watching you play. Now stay healthy. I know you're saying, hey, Troy, I can't help that. But don't put yourself in a situation to get hurt. Just keep playing, buddy. I love watching you play. And so, as we move on to the defense, though, I think you made some significant improvements. And you're going to have to, because I don't see much on offense. You have nothing for Whedon to throw to, and you're putting your hopes in Richardson. So on defense, you're going to have to make turnovers. You're going to have to keep your team in the game. And I think you've done that, and I think you've made good strides to try and do that. You signed Kruger from Baltimore. Good pass rusher, but that's what he is. He's a pass rusher. I don't think he's an every down player. You also drafted Mingo. And so again, it's a rookie coming in, but I like what Mingo brings to that defense. So I think you put some pieces in place on defense, Cleveland, but unfortunately, you're in a division that is just stacked. And like I said, probably the most competitive division in the NFL, which does not bode well for you. So when I compiled all the records and I looked at the schedule and I said, what's going to roll out here? Here's what I see happening. I actually see Pittsburgh winning that division. Yes, my Pittsburgh fans, you're going to win the division. I see Baltimore rolling up in second, and I see Cleveland falling in third. And Cleveland, much improved, you're still going to be in last place. But I don't think you're going to be as embarrassing as you have been in the past few years. So, there's a quick recap. Steelers, Bengals, Ravens, Bengals, then the Browns. And it's going to be a fun year in that AFC North, folks. It's going to be a fun year. I look forward to it. I really look forward to it. Have a great night, everyone. I'll see you at the next red light.